Over 10 years ago, Critical Role began with a conversation between Liam O'Brien and Matt Mercer, and now, Brennan Lee Mulligan may have just ended this era of Critical Role the same way.
Gotcha.
Before we look at the finale of Critical Role EXU Divergence and the ending that saw Matt Mercer in tears as Brennan Lee Mulligan brought everything full circle, why not hit those like and subscribe buttons to help us keep this channel growing? And then, let's talk the end of EXU and Exandria as we know it. Brennan Lee Mulligan pulled off an amazing and deeply emotional trick on Matt Mercer at the very end of EXU Divergence, when it was just the two of them left at the table as the other characters had their futures revealed, with Nia becoming the mother of all clerics in Vasselheim, and Crocus becoming involved in the creation of the Cobalt Soul, when Brennan finally pulled one over on Matt as Liam returned to the table to reveal that his character Arrow, who had died in the final combat of the series, had returned. And not only was he in fact the Platinum Dragon himself, but he finally confirmed that Garen was indeed his brother the Allhammer, much to the shock of Matt Mercer.
His clawed golden hand rest on your cheek and turn you slowly back. I know it's a lot.
Not only did this moment bring Matt to tears, it brought Exandria and Critical Role full circle, ending in Stilben, the town where Critical Role all began, with Liam, who helped create Critical Role by asking his friends to play in a D&D game for his birthday, and Matt, the DM who created the world and made Liam's birthday wish come true. It was not only an incredible moment to witness, or as Brennan put it,
I hope it's okay that I wrote you a love letter.
but it added more fuel to the fire that the next campaign will take place somewhere very different than Exandria. At this point, EXU Divergence just further pushes the idea that this entire era of Exandria is over. And while Matt Mercer will clearly never be done adding to or occasionally exploring new areas of the world he created, and Critical Role will definitely be back for one-shots or mini-campaigns set in that world in the future, this deeply emotional ending seems like a major capstone to their continued main campaigns in Exandria. Matt talked about it himself in their State of the Role earlier this year, saying that this was the ending of this chapter of Exandria, but now that Brennan has literally brought all of Critical Role so far full circle with this wonderful moment, and with an incredible ending to his EXU trilogy, and with all of the wild emotions that the cast reacted to in this final episode and in the cooldown itself, with everyone in tears, Marisha showing up, Danny and Kyle showing up, and Matt once again referring to whatever comes next as a, quote, new era, with both EXU and Critical Role itself having now ended in two distinct yet wonderfully interwoven trilogies to turn the page on Exandria as we know it. Everything about this felt like the kind of emotion you see when something ends. And it just seems it was such a massive deal being made out of the ending of this era, it would kind of be out of place to immediately just jump back into Exandria for Campaign 4. And also, EXU Divergence is basically already told the story of what it's like to explore in Exandria where the gods walk among us, both as mortals and as beings of great power. So Critical Role has pretty much let Brennan fully explore what that could be like in all three of his EXU series. And now with Divergence having just ended, it makes sense to let that idea simmer on the back burner for a while to explore something new and fresh. Also, we doubt that the cast would have been so incredibly emotional if they were just going to hop right back into Exandria in the next month or two, but really, it just feels like Matt and Brennan together have fully explored all aspects of the Exandria we know at this point, and with both trilogies now over, it will take a lot of time to craft the start of another campaign-worthy narrative in that same setting. And also, we know it will be adapted for Daggerheart at some point this year, so it may not even be D&D or the main campaign that will explore this new era of Exandria whenever that does occur. This season of Critical Role has been about endings, about tying things up and bringing it all together across the campaigns, and it's time for a new beginning for Critical Role. They have a new platform that still needs a ton of new content to keep thriving. They have their Daggerheart system coming up, which needs some new worlds to explore, even if they wind up exploring some of them in both Daggerheart and D&D for some of their campaigns. And with the entire cast having now played both gods, mortals, and gods living as mortals across all of Exandria in this third campaign, it feels like there isn't a huge reason to keep the main campaign rooted to an Exandria we've thoroughly explored, when both new and veteran fans could have the joy and the thrill of experiencing A new world with new mysteries, new characters, and new powers, all for the first time. Exandria will always be a part of Critical Role, and we will certainly head back there multiple times as the years roll by, but given the tears, the emotions, and the finality of EXU Divergence, it seems clear to us that Critical Role is putting a pin in Exandria, for now at least, and moving on to something new when they finally bring us Campaign 4 sometime in the next few months. And what better way to end this chapter of Exandria and move on to something new than Brennan's amazing love letter to Matt Mercer and the fantastic world he created for Critical Role. So what do you think? Do you want a brand new world for Campaign 4 of Critical Role? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons.